morning, America. Today is May 19th, 2012. Does that day sound familiar to anyone?
Well, today is the 50th anniversary of when Marilyn Monroe sang happy birthday to President Kennedy at his 45th birthday party. The event took place at Madison Square Garden, and there were over 15,000 people who attended.
Oh yeah, you know, there's some great video footage I saw the other day on that. Let me pull it up.
On this occasion of your birthday, this lovely lady is not only punctilious but punctual. Mr. President, Marilyn Monroe. A woman about whom it truly may be said she needs no introduction. Let me just say, here she is. But I'll give her an introduction anyway, Mr. President, because in the history of show business, there has been no one female who meant so much, who has done more. Mr. President, the late Marilyn Monroe. After having had a happy birthday sung to me in such a sweet
That was a really long time ago. How do we know it actually happened?
Personally, I'm led to accept that this event did happen on the basis that I know that Marilyn Monroe was the type of person who would sing happy birthday to a man, any man, especially the president. It is shared knowledge that Marilyn Monroe was known to be promiscuous.
Even though we can't experience the event for ourselves or bring the President or Miss Monroe back from the dead to confirm it for us, there's a lot of hard evidence to back it up. The whole thing was broadcast on CBS, and there were more than 15,000 guests as witnesses.
But because we can't go back in time, how do we know the broadcast wasn't faked and the witnesses were paid off by the government?
Really, Heather? How can you jump to conspiracy theory after you just heard a boatload of information supporting the fact that we actually know this happened? What's more, there are no witnesses who denied the occurrence to my knowledge. What are the odds that out of the 15,000 people paid to lie, not a single person would deny the event? How would jumping to the conspiracy theory approach benefit anyone anyway? There's no purpose. This just doesn't make coherent sense.
Regardless of whether this knowledge claim is actually true, I just got a tweet from a Good Morning America follower asking, how do you think this event impacted the public's view of the president?
Abby, that's a great question. Generally, how do personal events involving a person with political power affect that politician and their nation?
Well, at this point in history, the public already thought Miss Monroe and President Kennedy were rather promiscuous. But this event led to specific speculation about whether they were involved with each other. Right after the birthday party, the rumors went wild. Dangerous organizations, like the Mafia, had taken an interest in Miss Monroe because of her connection to the president. And thus, she was ordered to cease all contact with Mr. Kennedy.
Are there others who have suffered from an event like this? I mean, who else has suffered in the eyes of the public after an incident that should have just stayed in their personal lives?
There have been numerous presidential scandals in the past, which arguably should have been kept private. They range from Andrew Jackson to Grover Cleveland to Bill Clinton. During Andrew Jackson's presidency, he involved himself in one of his cabinet members' private affairs. According to Examiner.com, Andrew Jackson's involvement in the Eaton affair had many effects. Their article states, in the end, the Eaton affair estranged Jackson from the Vice President Calhoun, led to Martin Van Buren's rise to power, diminished the cabinet's influence, and served as a national distraction. In 1819, 17-year-old Peggy O'Neill married 39-year-old Navy purser John Timberlake. The vivacious and educated young woman attracted attention everywhere she went. As a result, she became the subject of derision and gossip. When Mr. Timberlake died in 1828 while at sea, rumors swirled that he committed suicide over his wife's affair with Senator John Eaton. Eaton knew the couple since 1818. Miss Timberlake's father ran a boarding house, which prominent politicians, including Eaton, frequented. She married the senator almost immediately after her husband's death, breaking the social code of the time. People were expected to wait before remarrying. As a result, the capital ostracized Miss Eaton. Andrew Jackson appointed John Eaton to serve as Secretary of War. Jackson loved the Eatons and encouraged the marriage despite the taboo. Vice President John C. Calhoun's wife led a protest against Peggy Eaton. So-called proper society refused to associate with her. The cabinet wives followed Fluoride Calhoun's lead to Jackson's chagrin. President Jackson reacted strongly to the ostracism his own wife suffered because of bigamy rumors. She died shortly after his election, and he blamed the scandal mongers. Jackson ordered his cabinet to force their wives to associate with Miss Eaton. Apparently, the cabinet feared their wives more than the president and resigned in protest. The tabloid scandal subsided with Eaton's resignation. The mass resignators led Jackson to form a kitchen cabinet filled with informal advisors. They served alongside the real cabinet and provided Jackson different viewpoints. The scandal also served the relationship between the president and vice president. Jackson replaced Calhoun on the 1832 ticket with Martin Van Buren. The widower ignored the ugly gossip and socialized with the Eatons. As a result, Van Buren positioned himself to succeed Jackson and became the president in 1836. Andrew Jackson upset Washington society with his support of Peggy and John Eaton. He convinced the couple to marry without the requisite waiting period for a widow. The president compounded the error by ordering the cabinet wives to associate with Miss Eaton. The scandal led to a cabinet uprising and mass resignations. In the aftermath, Jackson created a kitchen cabinet and jettisoned Vice President Calhoun, leading to Martin Van Buren's rise to power.
How do we know that this information is true?
I'm familiar with theexaminer.com. It's a reliable source for historical information from a variety of time periods and perspectives. I'm afraid we do need to be concerned with what bias is present, however.
The definite problem here is that there's no author to this article, which makes it difficult to evaluate the origin of the article.
But we know that the purpose is to inform an audience about what happened during Jackson's presidency. We may need to keep in mind that whoever the author is appears to be taking a stance that does not support this scandal, however. It can be argued that the perspective may accurately portray the opinion of many Americans. However, the value we take out of this is simple. In more than one instance, something small but scandalous among politicians can amount to something much bigger, and even result in eventual loss of power.
Okay, so it's clear that the personal lives of people in power can have an effect on the public, but what does that mean for the general population? Do you believe that what we do has an effect on the whole world?
That's a pretty deep question. I think we better discuss it another day.
Yeah, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you everyone for the wonderful insight into the value of history. If you have any comments or ideas for a future topic of discussion, comment or tweet us.
And don't forget to tune in tomorrow.
Goodbye, America!